Blog Talk Radio. Hi everyone, this is Margot. It's Sunday morning, July 10th, 2016, doing my weekly update. Seems I need to do that, and I might need to do a midweek update as fast as things are moving. Anyway, if anyone's out there and wants to call in, my call-in number is 845-262-0773, and today I'm going to be talking about the Mandela effect, timeline shifts, CERN, and some channeled messages I received back in around 2008-2009 concerning what's going on now with CERN and opening of the portals and things like that. Now, I've been asked to talk about the Mandela effect. That is it's all over YouTube. So if anyone wants to know what that is, there are plenty of other YouTube videos that talk a lot and in detail about the Mandela effect. But basically, it's changing timelines or shifting timelines. And when we shift into another timeline, our history changes. And people are getting freaked out by this because we're seeing our environment move in front of our eyes and shift in front of our eyes. I just watched a video yesterday on it that was very good, and these people were going into how movies had changed from the way we remember them, like in Star Wars, the C-3PO, the robot, the golden robot, how, he was all gold. That's how I remember him. But in the Star Wars movie now, he has the right lower part of his leg, the right calf from the knee down is silver. So that's very strange. And, a bunch of other things, like Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I'm your father," in the old one. And I remember that. And now he's saying, "No, I'm your father." So, and the Forrest Gump saying life is a box of chocolates. Life is like a box of chocolates. That was in the old one, and now they're saying life was like a box of chocolates. Now these are very, very in-your-face shifts. They're small things. It's not enough to for us to, wake up in a different apartment or a different house or have a different car. It's shifted, but it's shifted enough to get your attention. I've had my own Mandela effect experiences, and it does shift the timeline. We are moving into different timelines is what I believe is happening, and our consciousness is moving, and it's so we have to ask some questions. What is consciousness? How do we perceive consciousness? And could we actually be in a computer simulation, in a computer program? I mean, that's kind of where this is all going. But let me tell you about some really profound experiences I had with timeline shifts. The first one that was was so obvious I could not ignore it was about 6 or 7 years ago, and I was shopping, and at this store, and they have a lot of bulk products, and I was getting, I don't know, pumpkin seeds or something in bulk area, and I had my cart there, and I had already gotten a few items, and I eat health foods. I don't eat junk foods, and so I'd gotten my organic carrots and different things and had them there in the cart. I was the only one in the aisle, and I had gotten my pumpkin seeds. I had turned my back on my cart, gotten the pumpkin seeds, had double-bagged them, labeled them so I could check out, turned back around, and my cart was gone. It was gone, and in the place of my cart was a cart with a bunch of junk food. And no one had been there. I had not noticed anyone walking by. No one. And that flipped me out because it's like, where's my cart? And I went running around the store looking for my cart. It's a huge store. And it was nowhere to be found. And so I had to start over with my shopping that day. And I feel like that was a timeline shift. And, you know, it wasn't big enough for me to be in a different store, but it was big enough for, you know, my cart not to be there. And, you know, maybe I moved and obviously the cart didn't. I don't know why the junk food cart was there, but that's the way it is. Another timeline shift that I had that really made me so dizzy I could barely stand up. And this stuff will shake your reality. It will shake your reality to the core when you start realizing what's going on, until you can learn to just accept it and flow with it. I used to live near Forest, and this was a few years ago. And I used to hike in this forest like every day, almost every day. And this one area I used to go to quite a bit, and it had been about 3 months since I'd been there, and it had been totally undeveloped. It was part of a national forest, but it had been undeveloped, and I drove up there, and I was going to go on this trail I used to go on and be with the trees that I liked, and it had all been developed. The whole area had been developed, and there was a visitor center, and everything was paved, and there were parking lots and porta potties, and there were hiking trails that had been built, and I mean it had been a huge operation, and that would have taken more than 3 months to do, and I would have seen that. I mean, and there was no evidence. It was all cleaned up, and there were cars there. I mean, it wasn't even like it was the first day it was opened. And I had my camera with me, and I was just walking around taking pictures going, oh, my God, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. How can this be? How can this be? I have things happen now pretty much on a weekly basis. Now that I've learned what to look for, and my teacher, my inner teacher, Brother Juan, who I've had for about 10 years now, explained all this to me. And I'm going to be reading you some channeled messages that I got like back in 2008, 2009. We're going to be talking about CERN and opening of the portals, because I got messages back from then. And I'm realizing as I was looking through these messages, I'm probably going to have to do some separate broadcasts of these messages. They are profound, because I was getting the message in then that we were all going out. We were going to ascend. You know, when 2012 was coming up, everybody thought, you know, we were going to ascend then, and because of the Mayan calendar and the end of the age and everything, and we didn't. But what my teacher had told me, and the soul of the earth, which is what I call the Great One, they had told me that we were getting out in 2011 before all the stuff hit the fan. but that didn't happen. And now I understand that the timeline shifted. And I understand how it happened, and the bad guys have source-coded stuff. And I'm going to have to talk to you all about some movies that you need to watch. The first one is called Source Code, where it's a science fiction movie, and the truth is told in these science fiction movies. This guy had been shot up in one of the wars. I don't know if it was Iran war or whatever. He just had a stub of a body, but the military was keeping him alive because his brain was they were using his brain to go back in time and to change this, see if they could change this certain event to keep this this train from being blown up by this bomber. And he was only able to go back 8 minutes in time every time he'd go back. And when he'd go back, it'd be kind of like Groundhog Day, where he'd go back through all the different things that had happened. But he finally did figure out who the bomber was, and going back through all these things, and, you know, kept the train from blowing up. But then he went back and did his own source code and took everyone into another reality. Now, what was interesting in that movie, it showed how he was conscious and aware of the changes and of, you know, how it was different every time he would go back. But nobody else on the train or in his experience had any memory of what had happened before. It was like it was their first time there. So, when we shift into another timeline, you know, unless you're aware that you shifted, you're not going to know that you're in the new timeline. And there are people that I think, okay, first of all, there are humans with souls here. I don't think everyone is human with a soul right now. I think there are a lot of robotic beings walking around, and those will not be aware that they're in a new timeline. They might be part of the timeline that we're moving through, that we moved into, that our consciousness shifted into. And so all they know is that timeline, and all they know is that timeline where, Darth Vader says, "No, I'm your father," instead of "Luke, I'm your father," and so forth. In which case, you know, it's a different reality. There you got that. Then there's another movie that you need to check out. It's called The 13th Floor. And the 13th Floor is about where they were able to, they created a simulated computer program back from the 1930s or 1920s or 30s, and these people who created the program could interface and go into the program and go into the body of the person that was like their avatar, basically, and take them over and go and experience stuff back then, and then come back out. And that's The 13th Floor, and that was a very interesting movie. I keep watching that over and over and over. There's so much in that. And it was interesting. It took place it's set in Tucson, Arizona, and it said, if you want to find the edge of reality, go drive out into the desert, drive past all of the blocks, all of the roadblocks and everything. You will find the edge. And so one day Douglas did this. He was one of the main characters, and he drove out, and there were all these roadblocks saying road construction and no road and all this, and he busted through them in his car, and the road ran out, and then reality stopped. He got out of his car, and instead of a desert landscape, it was black with this grid pattern, and it was like this neon green or yellow or something, and it was this grid pattern overlaying the whole landscape, and that was reality. That was the simulation, and I've seen that. I've seen that in my mind's eye, and I've seen it visibly too, and other people have seen it too. So let's talk a little bit about what is consciousness. Well, we're energetic beings, and we're interfacing in this reality. What is consciousness? Where does it come from? I mean, this is basically what we're wanting to ask, what we're getting down to, and how do we perceive consciousness? Consciousness is from God, and I'm not talking about a little God. I'm talking about a big God, and I'm talking about like infinite consciousness. And when people meditate, they're trying to become aware of their consciousness and trying to become more enlightened, more spiritually aware. They want to know what's going on. They want to get to the bottom of what's going on inside them. This is a real good way to start lifting the veils. We perceive consciousness through our brain-mind interface, but we're all energetic beings. And I think we are in a computer simulation. I think it's the only thing that does make sense. And the bad guys have this dark technology. They can look into the future and see how a certain timeline is going to go. And if they don't like it, they can just rewrite the program and change a dot, change a period, change a comma, change an apostrophe, and the program rewrites itself. And we're still in it, but our landscape has changed around us. And it might be subtle, where a tree was one day, the next day the tree is not there. You know, things like that. It might be subtle, but it's enough to get your attention. CERN is part of this. It's part of opening the portals and changing the timelines. What my teacher told me back in 2008 and 2009 was that the bad guys were going to trap the soul of the earth to try and keep her from ascending, and trying to take her into a pocket dimension to keep her from ascending. I'm going to read you this channeled message. This is from the Great One. I used to channel the soul of the earth a lot. This is from Sunday, February 22nd, 2009. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but this is all very pertinent to today. So the timeline got shifted. We're in a very dark reality. I'm hoping it doesn't keep shifting, because we need to get out of here. We need to ascend. But there are instructions in here on what to do and what it's going to be like. And we will talk more about this. This is one of the big things I'm really interested in and into, and I'm getting messages in all the time. Okay, so here is a message from the Great One. Greetings, my friends. I've been expecting you. I have another message for you to bring to the world. And I say, greetings, Great One. We are here to help you. She says, yes, I know. You are my good friends. I'm learning of all the dark things that are planned for the earth and all of its inhabitants. It is a race against time, and time is speeding up. You saw more towers yesterday. The towers are changing. Their purpose is very evil. And she's talking about cell phone towers here. The arrays are changing in order to tap into the evil dimension to open the portals. This is why the arrays on the towers are not symmetrical. They have to emit a certain dissonance in order to break up the reality that is presented here and to open the portals for the dark ones. It is a dissonant frequency that is not a harmonic frequency. Nature is of a harmonic frequency. The dark ones are of a dissonant frequency. When they flip the switch, you will hear it. It will be a silent frequency to most people, but you, my friends, will hear it. It will be painful. It will hurt your brain just as they are hurting me. It will open the dark portals for the armies to come through. It will not hurt the unawakened ones, for they are not aware and sensitive. The awakened ones will know. The unawakened ones are as little dots on a screen, moving from here to there, keeping busy during the day and not producing any significant energy or frequency. They are just keeping busy, going here and going there. They will continue to go about their business and go about their days. As the dark portals are opened, they will not even see the demonic ones, for they are not awakened to see them. The demonic ones will be here in full 3D form. You, my friends, will see them. The others will not see them. It is a great battle that we are entering. Humans with souls are starting to ascend and to be taken out. It is happening now on a regular basis, and it will be faster and faster until it is not safe for any humans with souls to be here any longer. You, my friends, will see these dark entities. You must cloak. You must be cloaked at all times when you leave your residence, when you leave your safe place, for you do not want to attract attention. These demonic entities are coming in and will be going in and out of people who are not awake as well. They will not be physical, and yet they will be able to morph in and out, in and out. They will go into human bodies to map the array of the human mind and the circuitry of the human body so they can duplicate that in themselves. You will see them with your physical eyes doing this. It will be very much like the movie The Matrix, but you will be protected, my friends, as long as you are cloaked. You must remain cloaked. The only way they think they will accomplish their final end, the grand finale, is to have these other dimensional ones infiltrate into the human society. I know this. I see what they are planning, but I'm telling you, I will ascend. I will ascend and take my friends with me, all the humans with souls who are awakened, and all the humans with souls whose vibration is high enough, I will take with me. When I leave and take my friends with me, there will be nothing left. The dark ones will find themselves in this mysterious limbo, this construct, this mental limbo. They will be trapped because they will not have any reference point. They will have left the dimension which they came from, and they will not be able to go back. They will be trapped as if in prison. They will have made their own prison. We will leave them there for a while until the council decides what to do with them. Your vibrations are becoming higher and higher. It is good. You are a light load. You are helping many. With each person you touch and raise their vibrations, it represents 1,000 other people as well. For they will automatically radiate to the others that they are connected with. So, you see, you still have a great mission here. You must touch as many as you can. You must reach as many as you can in this dense, dark vibration before the end. They will open these dark portals before CERN is online. I have no control over that, but there are also more of your brothers coming in as well. You are not alone. I am not alone. Our help is waiting and in the wings. You will have much help. Your dream state is here now. You are less dense. Daily you are less dense. People see the light coming from you. They do not know what it is. They do not know. They just know that you are so different. Be prepared to stay in your 3D for another 6 to 9 months. You are witnessing much. And remember, this was back in 2009. You will see much of the destruction. You will see much of the takeover. It is literally a physical takeover. You will see the demonic ones as they morph. It is for you to witness. Again, I will let no harm come to you. They are turning up CERN and all the other projects that have been using my energy. They are calibrating them. They are trying to shut down my portals, but they cannot. They are not wanting to release my fury prematurely. They are playing a game of Russian roulette here. They know that if they release my fury, then all that they have planned will fail. They think they are smarter than I am, but they are not. We will use their electronic prison for them. It will happen in the blink of an eye. You will be here one moment, and then you will be there, and it will all be over. I say, Great One, we are already seeing that the dark ones are aligning the fall of the economy, the starvation of the planet, the downfall of all the peoples of the earth. It could have been so different, Great One. There are ones who have technology that can save the planet even now, but it seems they're not going to be given a chance. And she says, yes, I know, my friends. It is very sad. It could have been so different. It could have been a utopian world ascending to a higher frequency as we enter into the galactic plane. We could have all gone together in harmony, but they have chosen it to be this way to try to keep me from ascending. They think that if they can harness me, they will be able to live forever in the dimension they are creating. They are trying to create another dimension, another pocket in which they keep everything going their way, where they can move in and out of any timeline, any dimension, and any frequency, because they are out of time and out of any dimension. This is what they are hoping to create, an eternal place for themselves, and of course key ones to be their slaves, to serve them and to fuel them. They have taken the infinite energy and prostituted it, torn it, trying to make it into a different kind of energy for themselves. They are trying to take the God mind and the God energy and twist it and morph it to feed them, to feed this dark evilness for the rest of eternity. This is what they are planning. This is why they do not care if the earth is destroyed. They are merely using it to create this other dimension, a pocket out of time and out of space where they can exist for all of eternity. They have no clue what they are doing. The one they worship is so dark and evil. They believe anything he says. They believe him to be God, that he is demonic. You can call him Lucifer. You can call him Satan. He is the great demonic God that has been embodied here. I'm telling you, I will not let this happen. We have great forces here to help us to keep that from happening. We cannot act prematurely, though, for everything must be cosmically aligned for the ascension. This is what is planned. Get this message to the world. It is very important. And that was the message. Continue raising your vibrations and meditating, and to be kind to each other, and remember to cloak. This is my message today. Take care, and God bless, and I will talk to you next time.